And we're back. InnovEU is back. We have new chronicles. And this week we'll start by discussing the digital transition and the green transition and all the other transitions we are supposedly going through for a number of years. And we never know when are we going to get there. How fast are we really transitioning? Are we really going somewhere? Are we really changing? So we'll be talking about that, and then we'll have an interview with Igor Razbornik from Slovenia. We'll talk about Erasmus, of course. It's that time of year. I mean, we have harvested all the crops, collected all the grapes to make the wine, and we also write Erasmus proposals. That's the month of September, as you know. So Igor has a lot to say about evaluation criteria and important changes in Erasmus. I'm sure you'll find it interesting. Don't miss it. I hope you like it. Please press, share, everything. Okay, so I'm announcing the AWTY index. I prefer to call it the Are We There Yet? So you heard the European Commission or the White House talk about the green transition and the digital transition and all the other transitions, and you heard that for some years now, a large number of years. So how is it going? Is it going fast? Are we doing a good transition? Are we going to be done with the transition soon? Are we there yet? That's the main idea of this index. It wants to be a framework to measure how fast and how well are we transitioning. So it wants to track and assess those global economic transitions, organized in these 5 key dimensions or vectors that try to measure how is it going. So it tries to measure that by continent, by country, by region. It's not like traditional measurements that are already available that usually focus only on fragmented areas. They fail to capture this full complexity of nowadays global economy. It's a complicated world, so maybe we need to complicate it further or not, or maybe this will help make it easier to understand, simpler to navigate. So what the Are We There Yet index doesn't do is to measure speeches or nice words or the political will of people or measure or even assess policies. No, we measure results, specific outcomes that will change people's life or not. It is organized in these 5 vectors: the green transition, the digital transition, the transition to the new globalization that started during the pandemic and accelerated after the war in Ukraine in 2022 and has been changing the global supply chains dramatically, or the transition to a war economy that started there, or the transition to a solution to the housing crisis that is a problem in many countries. So these 5 dimensions clearly affect people's life. They are clearly important for people's life. They are clearly changing. And so what? How has they been changing? Are we there yet? So that's the main idea. This will be presented. I've been gathering the data. I've been organizing, and I'll be presenting this data by world level, by country, by region. So this will be presented in webinars that will be held through the Substack newsletter, Polizoxa. The first will happen in October 18th. About the digital transition. So there will be 5 webinars, maybe a 6th one, we'll see it later. But there will be these 5 webinars, each one focus on one of the vectors, one of the dimensions of change. And this first one will be on October 18th, as I said, at 3 p.m. CET, Central European Time. It's you can register at this website or through the newsletter. So there will be further news about this in the next episodes of the podcast or in the newsletter. You can check this out in the website of the newsletter, Polisdocs at Substack, or wait for further episodes. We'll be talking about this. So this is it. We're not there yet. Only on October 18th we will have the first part of this Are We There Yet index. I hope you can use it and enjoy it. Bye. Okay, so we're back for another interview, and this week we have Igor. I'm not gonna pronounce your last name. I'm sorry, I'm gonna mess up. So
yeah, I understand. It's Slavic
sorry.
is very difficult to pronounce. No problem. My name is Igor Razbornik. I'm coming from Slovenia.
Thank you. Thank you. That's much better. And I want to very much to talk to you about Erasmus and some claims you make about Erasmus evaluation criteria. But first, uh, I'm pretty sure that a good part of the audience will know you, but others won't. So please tell us a little bit who is Igor and what's your history.
Okay. So my name is Igor Razbornik, coming from Slovenia, and I'm actually in the educational business from 1991. After the few years in the industry, I figured it out, this is not for me. The education is much more for me, but I still need to go in my own company. And from that time, we started to develop our software for education. And I need to say that I was one of the pioneers in that time for e-learning, because we started to say computer supporting education, in that time. This is what, no, it was even before the Windows. Can you imagine? We need to develop our own Windows system to really present the graphic, but I will not go into that. So in 1997, I developed my first European project. In that time was Leonardo da Vinci. And since then, I'm in European projects writing. And what is super important is that after 2015, I did the same as everybody else. I tried to sit down, focus, and write my project. And then I figured it out that this is the wrong approach, because every time I try to reinvent the same things. So I have really big whiteboard in my office, and I start to write what is the part of every application, not just Erasmus, and how this fits together. And then from that starts structure of the project. What is, what we are doing, the beginning, answering why, what is the problem, how will be our solution, who is affected, who is the target group, what is our innovation, and what will be impact. So I can actually, from my sketch, see how I can impact our target group through the complete system, which sometimes is very difficult. And when people are saying, yes, but the question is so similar that I need to answer the same thing few times, this is clearly saying that you don't understand the structure of the project. So from that time, I started to really develop my methodology in 2015. Then we still did everything on the paper. So I created paper sheets, which I gave out to the people in the training, and they did that. And I tried this all across the Europe, from the ministry to the small NGOs. And then was in 2019, I figured out I need to do these web courses and YouTube and Facebook. So actually, if you go and just try to find hashtag projects with Igor together, you will see plenty of materials for free down there, so you can see what you can do. But really big change came in the 2022 with the AI, and then everything changed. And the complete, let's say, what I'm doing now different is with the AI, you still need to do the complete process. With what people does not understand. We think that AI is press on the button and you will get the application, which is totally nonsense. You still need to be very focused on your impact, but you have very intelligent guy who can write text for you, and you are just focusing on your idea. And this is the main difference how we use AI. And this was my methodology upgraded with the AI. And what is maybe super important, before with my methodology, everybody can start and create the project in 10 weeks. At the beginning, you didn't know what is that, and you create 10 weeks. Now with the AI in my methodology, and when I have you in the training, you come with project idea on the first day, and on the fourth day, you go home with your project written and you knowing how to do in the future with AI. So this is what I'm doing now.
But lately, I've seen you publish some disturbing things. For me, they are quite disturbing. I get really worried when I read you or see you talking about. Let's focus on this number that was stuck in my head, 26%.
Exactly. So
what do you mean?
One of the things I'm also doing is evaluation of the projects with artificial intelligence. And this is for the purpose of quality assurance of your project. So majority of the people creating the project and just submit the application, meaning that nobody see your application before evaluators, which is probably totally wrong. And this is opportunity for somebody who's really want to have quality thing. So what I'm doing, so when I finish my application, I go through my evaluation things, and that evaluation tells me what I need to do to improve my application. And I'm doing this 4 times. But I did even in the 2023 March deadline, and I see that actually I went through all the procedure which came from award criteria of Erasmus Plus and which came from the guideline for evaluators. So there should be everything what you need to put into that. But then I have a feeling something is wrong, because I did everything, and then I asked all my friends I have, and I came with the 33 different applications and evaluations, and I run the analysis through the evaluation, and I see this disturbing thing, which says that in evaluation, evaluator says that I require something which is not in award criteria guidelines. And then I went try to figure it out. Why is that, and from where going? And I believe this is coming from the, this is so many project application submitted now, so that there is a shortage of evaluators, and evaluators coming from all different places. And there is a lot of also from the horizon coming to Erasmus Plus. And if evaluators have in your head what is the evaluator is doing all those years, probably this is also pouring into Erasmus Plus project. And I saw this from several different questions saying, for example, for Erasmus Plus, 2 different applications saying theory of change in your application is not described well. And I was shocked. There is nowhere in the Erasmus Plus saying that. I need to really go back and try to figure it out from where this comes. And this is strictly said in the horizon. You need to describe theory of change for what you will do, that you will change current situation into something else. And that is for high level research methodology, and not for Erasmus Plus. And that's why I'm saying, yeah. So that's why I'm saying, and then my methodology is based on 160 different indicators, which came now from award criteria, and of course also guidelines for the evaluators. And I comparing with, to add everything from all those 33 evaluations, and I see that what people now, or what evaluators now require from you, is not written in the Erasmus Plus. So this is 26%.
That's
Yeah,
what keeps me from sleeping. You're saying that the real evaluations you used, 33 of them, they result
request
from
more.
criteria that is not written. So
Exactly.
I'm not going to write a proposal that gets good scoring in the evaluation if I don't know the criteria. That's what keeps me
Exactly.
from sleeping.
Absolutely. This is true. And that's why I made the free event explaining what are evaluators now requesting, so people can be prepared for that as well. Of course, I went much more into detail into with this, but this is
Sure.
5 different groups of um, what they want to have it in the application. Some of them are just partly described. Some of them are totally absent for award criteria, as a set theory of change, for example. Uh, the second thing is which needs to be very detailed, prepared and written. What is the preparation phase of your project before you will even start the project? So when I check it, I see some of those things explained in for the higher education applications, but not for a school, not for a youth project. So that is kind of mix of everything. I believe this is also because Erasmus Plus is very complicated. If you start to go for a key action 1 and then key action 2 and the 3, and then also all the vet education, school, high, and that's why I believe this is mix of everything, which is very difficult sometimes to perform. So my idea now is to try to answer all those questions.
Mhm.
I figure it out for these evaluations.
So you put together some training to help people understand how
Yeah,
to
I
how to
had
succeed.
free training and it's also available on the YouTube, so you can just go there and check. There is also one book written for me, which from me, which I go more detail into it, and I can just also I'm selling it. I need to say selling for a €7, 30 pages of details is just because to want to cover some cost for that, but if you want to really go into, some people just don't need because they understand. If you're fresh, then maybe this €7 ebook is for you to understand more detail what is going on with this 26% of uncovered
I
or
was
hidden
yeah.
letters.
I was thinking to put your LinkedIn profile, link to your LinkedIn
Yes.
profile in the podcast notes. If people go to your LinkedIn profile, they will get links for the YouTube
Yeah,
materials and all,
absolutely.
and the book and everything else, right?
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
There is there everything. Yeah, cool.
So I will do that. But I have to ask you, um, does this make you lose faith in this process?
No, I need to say no. I believe that artificial intelligence was cause for that. And I will tell you, artificially, a lot of people is using artificial intelligence to write the projects. I don't think that for majority of the people using AIs produce better results than before. Maybe quicker, but not better.
Hmm.
And because people creating this quicker, there's also more application coming to the national agency. And because more application, we need more evaluators, and you have certain numbers of good evaluators. So you need to, get it from somewhere else. And when you get, evaluators who is more versatile in some other things, not just in Erasmus, then could happen this pouring of, other ideas in it. I need to say that, you know, it's for the beginning is that shake, let's say, of everything is important, but you will see in the year or two everything will become back because also evaluator will see that this is not problem with the AI, but this is still problem with the people.
Hmm.
Still evaluators, some evaluators have problem with the AI because they just think that this is one button push,
Okay.
and which is which
Okay.
is absolutely not. It's
Yeah.
it's 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 absolutely more focus on good idea. The idea of the AI is to write persuasive, easy to read text which describes your idea and nothing else.
Before we finish, I have two questions for you. First,
Yeah.
I have to ask you this. I want your opinion about the common criticism that I hear made to Erasmus, because the projects are evaluated at the national authorities levels. In some cases, in some countries, there are more than one national authority. They get their local evaluators. So it gets hard to have the same level of evaluation in different countries. Isn't that a problem that should be somehow addressed by Erasmus? And the second question is more of a provocation. Wouldn't we be better if we replaced all evaluators with some AI evaluation bot?
Yeah, okay. For the first question, I believe that we will never have totally the same level of the different national agency because, as you know, local national agency also have country priorities, and I believe that this is also very important that to address. Priorities in Portugal is different than Slovenia, and I believe that we need to obey this, and that's why those different let's say, different evaluation criteria. I just know that for some national agency, my style of writing is more acceptable than for some other, and I already know where my style of writing is not good accepted. So, we know those things, when you're those years in the evaluation or in the Erasmus Plus, but I believe that we cannot do more about that. And also some kind of things, let's say, difference should be this. I believe this is totally okay. About the second question, as you said, provocation, why not use the AI for the evaluation? I don't know how it will happen in the future, but I believe that this subjective personal opinion about project is super important. As you probably know, in some Horizon teams, you have 40% of the points called gut feeling, the feeling you have in the stomach about that, what will happen about that, and that AI cannot do. AI don't have a previous experience, cannot say something like that. So I believe that evaluator in the future will be like that. Evaluators will still use AI to evaluate you, and when the AI will say probably here is a problem, then you will go as evaluator and your experience into that and say yes, this is problem or this is not a problem, and evaluate your complete application very quickly using the AI, because AI don't have bias. It is or it's not. And then you as a person, then you can say, okay, this is important or this is not important, or this is maybe described different way. So I don't think the AI will do the
So
evaluation by per se.
what you're saying is that AI will not replace
No,
evaluators, but it can be used to improve both their productivity, the number of projects they can evaluate, and their quality or their consistency in
exactly.
evaluation. So what
Exactly.
are we waiting for?
And also, reduce the evaluator fatigue. Just imagine when you need to read 20, 150 pages of the projects. And but if the AI can give you a really quick
With the
overview what
deadline.
is going on, it's much easier.
Yeah, I guess I see your point. Yeah. Okay. Any final message before we close?
Final message be learn how to use AI. It's a great opportunity for you. It will not replace you. I believe that people will not be replaced with the AI, but people will be replaced with the people who is using AI. Because this is now the tool, it's just something which help you to be better and quicker.
It's like the Excel or the spreadsheets in the 80s.
Exactly. This is a tool. It's nothing new. Yeah.
Igor, thank you very much for your
Super.
time. I hope weather improves in Slovenia and you have a nice autumn. Thank you for being here, and I'll see you soon.
Okay, thank you very much, Fernando. Have a nice evening, a nice afternoon, whatever.